to the Board of Judges, to my colleagues in the government service, dear students, and to the courageous debaters of the day, good morning. Today is a special day for grade 8 Aristotle. Today, two opposing teams will present their arguments on the subject matter, be it resolved that formal learning is better than informal learning on the topic of electricity. Before everything else, let's start the day with prayers to be led to us by Ibani Abbas in Christian and to be followed by Samiruddin Kamil in Islam.
Let's bow our head and pray. Our Father in heaven, we praise you for you are the creator of everything and everyone. We thank you for this bright morning and for the good heart of everyone who are now present in this room. We ask you, dear God, to forgive us all our sins. We ask you also to guide us in our activity today. In Jesus' name we pray, Amen.
Ar-Rahman-Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim, ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin.
Before giving the floor to the moderator, I would like to pose questions which you can ponder while watching the debate. Okay, here's the activity or the reflection. Make a reflection using 50 to 100 words about the following. First, what did you learn from the debate? Second, how do you feel while watching the debate? And third, whose argument will you defend? The affirmative or the negative? Then, why? Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed with the debate with Miss Princess White Domingo as the moderator.
Honored Board of Judges, our teachers, the two opposing teams, dear classmates, a pleasant morning. Today, we are gathered here to resolve that formal learning is better than informal learning about electricity. In my right side is the team who uphold that formal learning is better than informal learning for the topic of electricity, while on my left side contradict the approach and will try to defend their belief that electricity is better learned in informal setting. This will be the flow of the debate. The 6 speakers in both teams will be given 1 to 2 minutes to deliver their speech alternately. The first speaker will come from the affirmative side to be followed by the speaker of the negative side. The third speaker will be from the affirmative side again, then to be followed by the second member of the negative side until all the 12 members are done. There will be 2-minute break for the preparation of the rebuttal session. The members of each group will have the buzz activity. After the break, rebuttal will follow. Each member from every group will be given 30 seconds to 1 minute to ask questions and another 30 seconds to answer or defend their side until all the members participated in the rebuttal. If there are no more questions, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our Board of Judges. We have our very own principal, Dr. Nelia A. Versola. A round of applause. The members are Mrs. Merlin M. Magulo. A round of applause. Mrs. Eloisa Agni. A round of applause. Our timer is Joanne May Pihudan. A round of applause for her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the first speaker. From the affirmative side, Teddy C. Espiritu as the leader. A round of applause.
our dynamic and brilliant Board of Judges, to our teachers, my active colleagues in the affirmative groups, to friends in the negative group, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning. Our topic for today's debate is, be it resolved that formal learning is better in informal learning than the topic of electricity. Why? We will tell you why. But first of all, I'd like to define what is meant by formal learning. According to SEDOF Glossary 2008, formal learning is learning typically provided by education or training institution, structured in terms of learning objectives, learning time, or learning support. In terms of learning support leading to certification, includes courses, classes, and face-to-face workshop. Formal learning includes a large number of learners learning the same information and or processes at the same time. It includes a variety of methods to appeal to our learning style. Thank you.
Thank you, Teddy. At this moment, let us hear the speech of the leader of the negative side, Alan Francis Sabutan.
Honorable Board of Judges, our teachers, our fantastic opponents in the affirmative side, my colleagues in the negative side, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My task this morning is to introduce to you what informal learning is. The term informal learning has been used increasingly in adult education. However, in our present time, informal education does not include only in adult, but it is also applicable to any stage level of one's life. Be a baby, a toddler, a grader, a teenager, or individuals in their prime ages. Informal learning, although unstructured, but it is basically experiential learning. I am fully convinced that I can learn electricity by hands-on. Thank you.
The second speaker of the affirmative side is Giselle Pirendon. A round of applause.
To the dynamic and brilliant Board of Judges, our dear teachers, ladies and gentlemen, and of course to my colleagues, and to our opponents, good morning. I strongly believe that a formal education is still the best way to learn electricity. Mind you, my good friends on the negative side, I want to remind you that there are numerous advantages of formal education. They are the following. 1. Formal learning is structured. 2. It is equitable. 3. It is valid for all. 4. It has a common objectified curriculum. 5th. It has a universal goals, values, objectives, and skills. 6. It is a basic educational requirements recognized for employment. And 7. It is a certificate. So therefore, our good friends in the negative side, consider this. Are you going to exchange learning electricity to informal and formal, which are enumerated advantages? Oh, come on guys, wake up!
Thank you, Rizal. Let us now call on the second speaker of the negative side, Laika Visaling Baga.
Brilliant Board of Judges, my dear teachers, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning. Of course, Madam Speaker, I would like to refute your ideas on the advantage of formal learning, because I believe that electricity is better learned using the informal approach. Why? Informal learning is more advantageous because it is driven by the students' desire to learn. This makes sure that learning process, even if at times challenging, is enjoyable, not drudgery, not boring. There are so many resources available today through books, web pages, videos, and SlideShare that a great many matters like electricity can be learned comprehensively and deeply even outside classrooms. A major component of informal learning is frequently building, creating, finding things to be put into practice. In other words, real-life learning thinking.
The third speaker of the affirmative side, Feberlin Cardenas. A round of applause.
To the Board of Judges, our dynamic teachers, my smart colleagues in the negative side. Dear classmates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My due respect to you, my opponents, but I want to tell you that we in the affirmative side are right in our belief that the formal learning approach is better to learn electricity. Now, listen to me because I will tell you the benefits of formal learning. First, large number of students will learn the same process at the same time. Second, the content is accurate and up to date. Third, learning through formal approach come up to speed faster. And fourth, when properly planned, formal learning can include a variety of strategies to address different learning styles and conform to universal principles.
May I call up Giselle Ann Pillanillo, the third speaker of the negative side. My pleasant day to all of you, especially to our Board of Judges. Today, I want to refute the idea that formal learning is better than informal learning. According to authorities, learning not formally organized into a program or curriculum. It may take place beyond school walls. The lifelong process by which every individual acquires and accumulates knowledge, skills, attitudes, and insights from daily experience and exposure to the environment, at home, at work, at play, from the examples of families and friends, from travel, reading of newspapers and books, or by listening to the radio, or viewing films, or television, or accessing the internet, were proven effective. Although, informal learning at times is unorganized and unintentional, yet it accounts the great bulk of any person's lifetime learning, including that of highly educated individuals. Thank you. The fourth speaker of the affirmative side, Aliyah Veronica Pascual.
Here in the school, aren't you aware like us, you have to finish your grade 8 in one school year, whether you like it or not? Isn't it easier for us to learn when our teacher is not around? Isn't it more difficult when Isn't it easier for us to learn when our teacher is around? Isn't it more difficult when our teacher is not around? Whom do we get answers to our questions whenever we would like to ask questions? Isn't it easier for us to understand and apply our learning when the class is in order, disciplined, peaceful, and following orderly procedure? I strongly believe that a person is more productive when he has organized thoughts and behavior. Being organized is a product of an organized formal learning. Thank you.
Round of applause, please.
To our Board of Judges, our dear teachers, classmates, and to our brilliant opponents, good day. Informal learning is often spontaneous. Learning happens anywhere and anytime. The learner is inspired to learn because of an immediate desire to know how to do something or understand a topic. An informal teacher sees an opportunity to share his knowledge or wisdom with someone. For example, we were recently waiting for a bus bound for Calabang Lizardo at Ecoland Terminal, Davao City. While waiting for our ride, I noticed a father who was holding the hand of his young son, who was about 7 or 8, used the posters on the wall of the waiting area to teach the boy to read new words. The boy sounded out the words and they talked about the content of the posters. This not only helped to pass the time during the long wait. It was a great example of spontaneous informal learning. Once again, good day.
The fifth speaker of the affirmative side, Alfred Cabugos.
Board of Judges, my fellow debaters, teachers, classmates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Our opponents and negative side, I want to remind you the disadvantage of informal learning, according to authorities, is that students to learn are motivated. How about if is not interested? Is it a downfall of informal learning? Good. If the student is interested to learn electricity, how about if is not? Instead, he is interested in music. According to Dr. Carl Sagan, the brain does much more than just recollect. It intercompares, it synthesizes, analyzes, it generates abstraction, even when we can point to skills acquired by learning something new. Maybe our overall mentality and ability to think and reason is improved in formal learning. Your desire to learn takes you to a certain level of understanding. But is that enough? How could you know? If you are only interested to know position and something in electricity in part, then you are not in position to know what you don't know about the topic. How will you value the subject matter if you are only interested in part, not the whole? Thank you.
From the negative side, Jana Farmia Alamada. A round of applause, please.
My due respect to your ideas, Madam Speaker, but I also want to present to you the disadvantage of formal learning. Distinguished Board of Judges, dynamic teacher, respectable opponent, dear classmates, my warmest greeting. For most, formal learning is structured. Hence, learning becomes structured also. It cannot offer the urgency of a topic arises from the discussion. It has to follow a long path. Therefore, formal learning is lengthy. It is a long process. It could not be shortened, since formal learning must follow a universal procedure. It is also expensive. A student has to learn what is proposed and mandated by the state to be taught. Sometimes, less important topics are given more weight, and therefore, the learner has to learn the subject within considerable length of time. Thus, it's deprived the chance to apply immediately what he learned to his real-life situation. He has to receive first a diploma, while in formal learning, a student can take short courses and receive certificate like TESDA certification, and wow! He could apply his learning right away to become productive. Thank you.
The sixth speaker from the affirmative side, Jaala Judel Lu.
To our brilliant opponents in the negative side, I want to tell you that I strongly agree that formal learning is the best way to learn many things. Formal learning offers proper time because it has been a product of collective planning and monitoring. It had undergone much researches and revisions through hundreds of years, changing styles of learning among students. Much money had been invested by our government to equip school-age children in the important skills needed by students to face the challenges in life. May I remind you also
that during our formal learning of electricity, abstract things like flow of electrons along circuits had been concretized using animations through PowerPoint presentation from technologies like TV sets and computers, which could not be revealed by hands-on only. Isn't it wonderful to know that things not readily seen and experienced by ordinary means are experienced with the use of gadgets like computers and iPads? Thank you.
And now, the last speaker of the negative side, Precious Ann Cabiao. A round of applause, please.
Good day to everyone, especially to our Board of Judges. My friends in the affirmative side, I understand formal learning is required for youngster of our age. But don't you want to enjoy while learning? If we learn inside a classroom, can't we not learn under the trees, in benches outside classrooms, in the playground, or even lobbies, or in the covered court? Isn't it enjoyable to have classes in such settings? Are you not looking forward that activities in our classes will be done outside this four-walled classroom? Did you not enjoy and learn more and meaningfully outside our classroom, where we can freely move and not only tied up in our chairs? Is it not true that it is easier for you to recall your lessons when learning was done outside the classroom or even outside the school campus, such as field trips? Now tell me honestly, if you did not enjoy learning electricity with Sir Pilotintos, don't you know that was informal approach?
Thank you, Precious. Now we will give 2 minutes for each group for the buzz activity. While waiting for the 2-minute break, I would like to remind you on the posted questions, my dear classmates. Number 1, make a reflection on the following. What did you learn from the debate? Number 2, how do you feel while watching the debate? Number 3, whose argument will you defend? The affirmative or the negative side? Why?
Mas maganda.
2 minutes time is over.
We will now proceed to the rebuttal. And we'll remind again that one question is given 30 seconds and we have to entertain 6 questions from the negative group to be answered by members of the affirmative group one at a time.
That's the form of informal education. Why is it that graduates employed abroad?
Don't you know, my dear opponents, that graduates from formal learning like nurses are also employed abroad? They receive bigger salaries.
Informal learning is less expensive and takes a short period of time to acquire skills in order to get a job, compared to formal learning, which is tedious and lengthy. How will you help students who cannot afford to go formal learning in order to land a job?
Thank you for that wonderful and interesting question, my dear opponent. Have you forgotten that our government is giving the biggest budget to them so that youngsters like us can go to school? Anyway, as young as 18 years old, we are not allowed for employment. It is against child labor. Why are you in a hurry to work? Just study hard and enjoy your life while you are young.
Tell me, my dear opponents, are you not excited to use Google, Yahoo, and other websites, especially Facebook? Don't you know that these modern communication facilities are widely used in informal learning? Why not, dear opponent? I know. But you know that these modern communication facilities are also used in formal learning. How about PowerPoint presentations used by our teachers?
We read that formal learning is a traditional learning. Don't you remember that we are already in the 21st century? Why shouldn't we shift from traditional to informal learning, which I know is enjoyable and less stressful? Yes, we are already in the 21st century, but I want to remind you that we are coping with the 21st century learners through the K-12. K-12 has been designed as more on student-centered learning. We are asked to do activities that are hands-on and experiential yet through formal learning.
Don't you know that students who go for extra time to learn more outside school have wider knowledge and more skillful to do practical tasks? My dear opponent, who are very faithful in formal learning, why would you go out, learn outside school walls, and you will see the world? 100% I assure you, you will enjoy.
I strongly disagree with you, my dear opponent. Don't you know that learning through gadgets and computers and other disciplines entails on computer literacy? Did I hear it right when you said students having informal learning outside the classrooms are smarter and dependable in practical works? May I remind you, my dear opponents, that students who are doing well in school are tasked to do planning and organizing? May I suggest open your ears and minds. Formal learning is still better than informal learning.
My dear friends in the affirmative side, may I bring you back to our learning in electricity with Sir Bilotindos? Did you forget that was informal approach? We learned much about electricity in its application to our daily life, didn't we? If informal learning on electricity did work, why shouldn't we learn our next lessons in formal approach?
I disagree with your idea, my dear opponent. Did you forget that before we undergone informal learning on electricity, we first learned the basics of electricity? Have you forgotten how electrons flow in the circuit? Don't you know?
Whoa!
Don't you know?
We learned such basic Don't you know that we learned that formal settings can also be integrated in the formal settings? This is the aim of the K-12. So therefore, I strongly suggest that be it resolved that formal learning is better than informal learning. We will now. May I request representatives from the audience to stand and state whether they conform to the affirmative or to the opposition group. Generals. I agree in informal learning because I discovered that informal learning is unorganized and unintentional. Yet, it accounts the great goals that any person's lifetime learns. I learned that informal learning is not boring. I also learned that not all education comes from formal learning. Formal education, on the other hand, prepare us to become academics. Yes, Raida. I agree with the group of formative side because formal learning to me is more interesting. I learn much in formal learning. The affirmative side stated their arguments clearly, and that is enough for me to understand the features of formal and informal learning. I chose formal learning is better than a better approach than informal learning. Lovely.
I agree with the group of informal learning because I enjoy learning many things outside the classroom settings. I appreciate that our freedom of expression is being respected. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the debate is over. A round of applause to our great and bright debaters. May I call on the judges to announce the result of the debate.
I am also a graduate of CMAU like this. Graduate din ako. Ang ganito. It's a posture. Edit mo na Reho. Reho, just edit this one. It's a pressure. Stressful work to be a CMAU scholar. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to acknowledge the presence of the Banawag High School principal this morning, who is with us. To the debaters, both in the affirmative and the negative side, to the audience, to the teachers, especially to your teacher in mathematics, Miss Lizardo. Just edit this one by and by. Okay, talking with your topic this morning, let it be resolved that formal learning is better than informal learning. Both will do, the formal and the informal. It depends upon the learner itself, whether he is on with the formal learning and with the informal learning. But as long as learners try to strive hard, wanted to learn, both will do, the formal and the informal learning. But today's activity, this debate that you have this morning, we will go with the formal learning. Since each and every one of us wanted really to be inside the four walls of the classroom. So, the Board of Judges, we are on formal learning. Thank you and good morning. Ay, naku, ito siya kayo talaga.
Lights, camera.
To the Board of Judges, thank you for gracing this activity. To the students, for your cooperation by watching and making your reflections. To the debaters, thank you. To the working committees on the stage and the backdrop, it's very beautiful. For the sound people, thank you also. For the cleanliness and orderliness of this room, thank you. Without you, this activity would have not been realized. Again, good day to all of you.